Our final speaker of the day before John wraps up for the day is somebody who you will all know because she is our media guru from the point of view of the Central Sterilising Club. So Becky has the role within CSE, but she also has her own role now within Viola. But she's been interested in water and all sorts of things, decontamination, for years and years and years. And yet it was her ability to manipulate text that brought Val O'Brien to her door when it came to how are we going to manage this new manual. And Becky was instrumental in what is now quite a remarkable resource. So over to you, Becky, to explain more.
Thank you, Mike. I'm just going to start my timer here because people who know me know that I could probably talk for ages. And this reminds me a little bit of Toastmasters. Has anybody heard of Toastmasters? Nobody heard of Toastmasters? You have to, Jim. Oh, thank you. Thank you. Toastmasters, you stand up and you talk for 7 minutes and somebody in the background is going, the red light, green light, no, go, gotta go. So, yeah, I'm on the hoof right now. So, the Principles of Medical Device Decontamination Manual. In 2024, you might have remembered, those of you who are here, that Val O'Brien, who was one of the past chairs of CSC, I think it started in 2017, and she finished her stint as a chair in 2021. When she was part of that group, there was a discussion with regards to, there's no single source of communicate of a manual or something. There used to be a thing called a MAC manual, which I've heard one of our delegates today talk about it. Oh, I hear some nods. I never heard of MAC manual. Graham Stanton, who used to obviously, unfortunately no longer with us, but he was definitely saying to everybody, there's no talking about MAC manual. You're not allowed to talk about MAC manual. And everybody was talking about, well, we want a MAC manual, which was a central source of information related around the subject, because I think we've heard it all today that, it's not just one thing. There are many, many things that impact what we do. So the committee decided, with chair at the head, with Val as the head, that they'd reach out to some of the professional colleagues who are in this audience today, from IHEAM, from HIS, and ask these colleagues if they would put together a chapter on decontamination of reusable medical devices. And it's taken, I think, about 5 years for it to come to fruition, with the to and fro in between the different bodies. And the last year has been compiling everybody's chapters, which is what I've had the honour of doing, and I thank everybody who is an author in this. All I did was put it all together, and Val and I spent hours trying to make sure we got all errors out of it in terms of typing mistakes, and then having lots of discussions about, do we use Z or do we use S, which Brian's smiling about because of the way we write it. In any case, the upshot of it was that the intention is that it would be a publication that could sit on the Central Sterilising Club website, that would be freely available to everyone. All the professional bodies have got a link for this manual. I don't know if you've actually seen it and bothered to go through it. So I thought my intention really today was just to show you some of the functionality of what's possible with this. Yes, please do click on it. It is predominantly, because of the size of the book, it's predominantly best viewed on a desktop. But you can view it, because like all of these things today in digital, you have an ability to look at it on your mobile phone, an ability to look at it on your iPads or your little laptops. But the functionality of the document is actually better when you can see it on the screen. So It's not going to be a printed version. If you want to print it out, you can. It's a lot of paper talking about sustainability. But you could also just print some sections out of it. It was a request from one of the professional bodies. But really, you can click through the book like this, but you probably don't want to do that. And what you find is down at the bottom of the screen where you can see the, let me use the arrow there, little list. You could click that little list and up will come all the chapters at the side. And I know I have already identified that I am missing chapter 3. 1, 2, 3, yeah? It is there, but it is in the book. I've just managed to miss that. So you can quickly navigate through the chapters that way. You can, so when you get into the chapter that you're looking at, there will be some highlights as you go through. So if you go down, say, the bottom, this reference down here, there's a highlighted, see that highlight? That highlight will take you to the reference section or the actual document itself. So what we have tried to do is make all the references accessible, and obviously at the time of publication, all of these pages, etc., were available, and I'm not held responsible, the club's not held responsible, if somebody decides to take these pages down. All right, so at the time of publication, every single reference was checked, that it was there, and you could just click onto it, and it would take you to the page. So the whole intention of the Decontamination Principles document was, as I say, to bring together one source of this documentation. And it is the opinion of the people, the authors. Val would have been standing here today. Unfortunately, she couldn't make it. So she asked me if I would stand up here and just, since I was entrenched with it for 12 months. And it's essentially live documents. So there are probably things in there that you might disagree with, or there are things in there that will change because we are in an evolving, everything, well, we're changing constantly, and everything evolves as we get new information, new knowledge. There's been some talks that we've listened to today, which I was thinking, well, that would be really good if we could incorporate that somehow in the manual. So with the manual as it is, there is scope for it to be edited at a future date, but there is at the moment no group, because this DPECF group, that Decontamination Equipment Forum Summit, which is on the front of the cover, that little group came together and it was for that one intention. What the CSC choose to do with it afterwards is really down to whoever is the chair at the time. But I think the belief is that there will be another iteration and we'll update it, but it's not going to happen like massively quickly. So when you click, can you go back to the, to the 4, that's it. So at the bottom when you're looking at the screen, you can go to the thumbnails, and the thumbnails will actually show you the different pages. So you can actually just scroll quickly and see if you can find the page that you want that way. If you are on a browser, can you go to, see where it's, can you just flick over it to see where there's a highlight? There's one on figure 1 down here. This one down here. So each chapter, at the end of each chapter, there are the references related to that chapter. So what we've tried to do is as you go through the chapter, if there's something of interest, you should be able to click on it, and it's either going to go out to the reference document, like that was a footnote that we went to last time, or it's going to go to the actual reference source, which is at the back of each chapter. So it's relevant to that chapter. And then if you just go to the little comment box there, if you're on a browser, what you can actually do in 2 places, if you're making notes or something, or you're writing up and you want to keep a check on where did I get that reference source from, you can add a note. right? And when you add a note, you can either add it there, or you can actually add it up here. And a little type thing comes up, and you write, I want to keep this for reference in my written paper on XYZ. And if you don't close your browser, that note will stay there until you close your browser. If you close your browser, you close it all down, then it will actually, you'll have to start from the beginning again. But if you're writing something, that might be quite useful. There's the share link at the share link there, so you can share the whole document, or you can share the current page that you're on if you think that's relevant. And then there's obviously the printer symbol. Everybody knows the printer symbol. And the same thing there you can do with the printer is choose to print a custom range, or you can print one page or whatever. This was a request that the professional bodies asked for. So it's got tons of functionality on the actual desktop. Now, so that's... Oh, yeah, there we go. I'm nearly there. Just checking on my timing. So, yeah, and at the back, if you go flick to the back, you can either do that on this list link at the bottom. Pete? There's a terminology, glossary of terms. What we tried to do, where's Lena? She disappeared. Right, you'll have to tell her. Right, so glossary of terms, we decided that a good thing to do was to utilise the ISO glossary of terms and stuff. So we've put glossary of terms in there. At the end of that, there's the link to the two websites that we utilised in order to come up with these descriptors. So we're trying to keep things, there's a lot. So these two websites are what we utilised to make sure we sort of got the right terminology or made it also how you're all talking, okay? So it's available on the website. It's free. Free? What I would ask of you is... nothing evolves without feedback. We've heard that today, really, haven't we? Transparency, sharing knowledge. This is what we're actually all about. This is why I love the CSC so much, is that it is about sharing knowledge with everyone. And you will go through it. If you see typing mistakes, by all means, please feed it back to me on the media at Central Sterilising Club. Yeah. If I'm not here, the next media person will have that responsibility. But do feed it back, because that's the only way I can track that there's some... I've had enough of reading it. Okay? I'm blind. At the moment, I'm blind to seeing everything, unless it's very obvious, like I missed that chapter 3. So if you see spelling mistakes, please let me know. If there's something else in there that you think, well, that's changed a little bit, the robotic stuff is going to be expanding, there's going to be stuff going on there. Anything about the probes. We might even want something related to the risks in it, risk language in it. Put all of that information down on the feedback, which brings me to my last bit, really, which is I'm probably the one that bangs on about feedback the most in the committee. On the back of your pamphlets, there is QR code for day 1 and day 2. It goes to the website. It's feedback of the whole day, but at the bottom of each day, there is a panel there that says, please tell us blah, 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 right? I really, really implore you, use it to give us the feedback, because it comes in, I see it, I have to tell the committee what we've had, and it's the only way we get feedback, other than, chatting with you, which then sort of goes out the window, after you've had a few beers, like we're going to have later on. Yeah, so please, 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 feedback. Thank you very much for listening. I'm on time.
You do. Thank you, Becky.